Welcome back to the Wrong Advice Podcast. I'm your host, John Picciuto, and I'm very excited to have Mr. Steven Sirvan in studio with us today. What's up, buddy? How you doing?
Very well. How are you? It's good to see you.
Can't complain, man. I mean, I've had this hacking cough for about a week now, but
you know, trying to set this up for quite some time now.
Yeah, I know it's been a bit.
But yeah, I'm glad to be back. This is round 2.
Talk to me about the marathon. How was that?
It was brutal. It was a lot of fun.
Was that the first time you ran 26 miles?
Yes, farthest I've ever ran. First marathon, because I was actually training for the Jersey City Marathon, I would say 9 months before, and did a trail run. I probably shouldn't have been doing a trail run, training for a road marathon.
Oh, outside.
In Cedar Grove. I snapped my ankle. It was like 19 degrees out, freezing. Snapped my ankle on a like a branch root. Couldn't see it because I was looking up. Like in trail running, you got to be looking down. Like your next step is calculated at all times. It's like almost doing an agility ladder. So snapped my ankle, thought I broke it, like tore some ligaments and stuff like that. It was pretty messed up. But training for the Jersey City Marathon, that was in April, snapped my ankle. Ended up getting into another race a little while later, but then redid the whole marathon prep for this thing, and
I, a year ago, famously said on my podcast, I was like, next year I'm running the New York City Marathon.
And you were supposed to run?
This has been the 1 year.
All right.
We'll never do that again.
Why?
Next
year. Let's do it. I'm doing it.
Sure. Talk to me about the prep. Obviously, there's so much that goes into marathon prepping. And as you said, it was the first time that you ran the full distance.
Yeah.
So in the training process, what was the highest that you got up to?
22.5.
Okay, so the most you would ever run in your life was 22.5. Mm-hmm. Talk to me about, like, you're in the marathon. Mm-hmm. You've now run 22.6 miles. What does your body feel like?
It was pretty tired. I mean, once you're at that point, once you're over 20 miles, it's all up
here. You're pot committed? Yeah.
You're it's all here. You're in a dark place. You're talking about, like, you get energy from the crowd and stuff like that. But once you're in like this dark place, you don't hear shit. It's like tunnel vision. It's just keep going, finish. But I had a time in mind I wanted to finish under, so I was like keeping this pace. So it was a battle.
What was the time?
Under 3 hours and 30 minutes.
And what did you finish at?
3:27.
Wow. Wow. By a freaking nipple hair. Wow.
Yeah, but people, like, it's very calculated. People are like, oh, I want to run sub 3:30. And then they'll run like their time, like, the pace is all predetermined beforehand, usually in a marathon prep. So like each, like, all right, mile 1 to 5, I got to run a 7:46 pace, like so on and so forth. So they'll finish at 3:29. Like they'll under a minute. Like, so 3 minutes under is actually like really good.
Like you're like, how could you know that like mile 12 to 13 was like? Are you segmenting everything?
Yeah. Got my pace right here.
Okay.
It's not. It's you got to be careful though.
I was saying it can't be 100% accurate.
Yeah, especially running through these big cities, the GPS can be a little off.
Yeah.
Because I ran into that when I was running this Jersey City half marathon, and so my pace was off. I was just going on feel, and I blew my time out of the water because it's the fastest I've ever ran for the longest I've ever ran. Jersey City Marathon, half marathon.
And you were like, whoops.
Yeah. I was like, oh, sub 2 hours. It was like 1:45, 15 minutes.
Wow.
Broke it by. So, it's.
What made you want to run the marathon in the first place?
Just getting into running probably about 9 months prior. With these like run groups, So I ran like 3 miles with this group in the city, and they're all like experienced marathon runners. These guys fly, they're all great and stuff like that. But me being an athlete and stuff like that, like it was fun, but I was like, shit, I was gassed after 3 miles, like a 5K, and trying to keep up with them. So I was running a good pace. I'm like, I could do this mile, 2 miles, I could do this. And then third mile, I was gassed, like dead. So I was like, I got to get better, and then just meeting up and running with other people, getting involved with these run communities, man, it's been incredible. And it pushes you and just makes you want to get better. And then like, fuck it, like, why not? Like, I'm only getting older, so why not do it now? Like, I got this body.
my back.
I'm grateful for it,
Yeah. No, I'm with you on that. When you're sick, right? I've been sick for like a week, right? Mm-hmm. When you're sick, I think it puts into perspective, like, I wasn't like dying, but it's like I was so sick for a few days, and you're like, puts into perspective, like, okay, I got to take better care of myself. Mm-hmm. Maybe not go out 3 nights in a row like I'm 20.
Yeah, dude. It's abuse on the body, 100%.
Yeah, it puts some of those things into perspective.
Mm-hmm.
When you decided to run the marathon, how much time did you give yourself commitment-wise to it?
The prep was about 3 months.
Okay.
It was a little, because I ran this half marathon, and I some people even prep for a half marathon. Like they'll have a coach, like even have this whole disciplined, planned out plan. And I, I had a general idea what I was doing, getting my miles in, running a certain amount of miles a week. Like you do like some speed work, but I wasn't doing that. Easy runs, longer run on the weekend. That's pretty, basic. So I did the half marathon and then worked with this run coach after that. So I had like 3 months of real marathon prep. So we just reevaluated everything I was doing time wise and like, everything was really calculated. So about 3 months, yeah.
Was there any point in the training and or the day of the race, day before, that you were like, baby, I can't do this?
Oh, not at all. No.
Really?
Hell no.
Thought never crossed your mind?
Fuck no.
Never.
If I broke something, like if I would have to get hurt or like, me, how I am, like I would die out there. I don't give a fuck.
What was like the hardest?
It's just,
if
I'm doing it, I'm committed. That's it.
What was
like,
the
I'm not on half-ass shit.
What was the hardest part day of the race? Like, was there any, like, you'd never run more than 22 miles?
Oh, well, there's a lot of hiccups. Oh man. Yeah. I could have run faster. Like it was crazy.
Just so many people.
The shoes I wore, these race shoes, they have like a carbon fiber plate. Most race shoes do it's like the responsiveness off your foot. Mm-hmm. They're like $300. They're real expensive.
Jesus.
Oh yeah. It's super crazy technology in these fucking things. So I only did track work and then like speed work.
Okay.
It's a softer surface, flat, this and that, like 6 miles I ran. So I never ran on the streets with them. Halfway through that marathon, my feet were killing me. 13 miles, I'm like, fuck, maybe I made a mistake. So I was running like 19th mile. It felt like not the big toe, the one next to it, got smashed with a hammer. I'm like, bam. I'm like, whoa, dude, I was limping. I was like, holy shit. I felt like my toe exploded because your toes get messed up. Like there was blood. Like right now, I have 4 toes that are black and blue and like the toenails can come off.
Just like permanent?
Oh, well, who knows how long it's going to last. I don't know. They might fall off. Who knows? But yeah, so there was a lot of hiccups throughout the whole thing. It was up and down. It's like a roller coaster. Feeling great, feeling shitty. Like,
I was like, mentally, you're at 19 miles and you like get that level of pain. How do you like go get? I would be like, all right, cool, done.
I just kept jogging and it got a little better. But then just
mind over matter.
Yeah, you just got to keep going. You can't stop because especially with that momentum, like people do stop in these marathons. I don't know how they keep going. Like how you restart. Because it's not really great for your legs and stuff like that. Like it's harder. You'll cramp up that way. Getting that blood flow and that rhythm and that kind of stuff. It's like once you're going, you can't stop.
I would imagine.
I feel
once I start doing I can't, like if I'm on the treadmill and I stop, it's the day's done.
Yeah,
you're not getting back on.
No. Yeah,
I mean, like if you're doing intervals,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying, like sprints or whatever. But like, they're gonna go run 2 miles and then pause for like walk for like 7 minutes
on a treadmill. Now, you could. A treadmill, I hate it. I have never ran over 5 miles on a treadmill.
Okay,
there's people who do like 20 miles on a treadmill.
It's not the best. I find it better than
crazy.
The track is nice. You don't like the track?
Street
always,
because it's always just something different. Like your mind, you're able to really not sit there and track treadmill. You're just there running a circle.
I don't mind. I can zone
treadmill. You're just sitting there stationary. No way. I'll lose my mind.
Yeah. Okay. It's crazy. Funny. I'm the opposite.
Streets.
Same thing with a stationary bike.
You just haven't done it enough.
I love the Peloton. I really do. Like I love
a bike maybe. Yeah, I haven't really biked much. I got to get into that.
Yeah. Peloton. I know their stock's getting crushed, but I'm a big fan.
I don't know.
I don't know. It's like, to me, there's something meditative about the repetition of the sound of the non-moving scenery that, like, I think I have such bad ADHD. If I was like running on the road, I'd be like, squirrel. Like,
the thing is, I do that as well. I'm looking around, but then you don't notice how far you've gone. Like you're able to really, people once they get onto the street, they're like, oh, I've never ran 5 miles before, and then they'll do it, and then they'll it's that's where it's at. I'm telling you, because that's where like the group runs are and stuff like that, and you got people pushing you, and your mind's off it. So you're by that mind-body connection. You're not sitting there overthinking it, like on a treadmill, like, oh, am I tired? Am I this? Am I that? It's the track, like you're able to psych yourself out a lot easier. So I feel like in the street, like you could just zone out and, looking around and then like, oh shit, I ran 5 miles and it won't even cross your mind.
Yeah, I can see that. I think anytime I'm properly distracted, I can spend a lot of time doing something.
Yeah, of course.
Scrolling on TikTok or,
dude, even in the marathon, it's just so many people. And like,
talk to me about
constant waves of people. So you're just going, looking around, yelling at people and stuff like that.
Did anyone else was running it with you?
Oh, yeah. I had a couple friends run the half marathon the day before, and I had about...
You ran a half marathon the day before?
No. Oh. I had some... Yeah, right. There's people who've done that.
That's insane.
Yeah. We'll get into that. So, yes, about 4 friends ran the half the day before, and then about 7 friends ran the full.
That's cool.
Yeah, it was sick.
What was it like crossing the finish line?
It was incredible. It was actually, well, I didn't, like, there's video and, like, photos of me. I'm just, like, casually ran across. Because it was, like, so much, like, you're so up here, like, dead in this, like, zombie mode. Some people were freaking out. Like, I didn't. I just, like, crossed, stopped my watch. It's almost like a now what? I was, like, looking around. I was like, oh, man, all right.
Who do I hug?
What do I do the rest of the day? Seriously, I was walking around. It was, like, 10:30 in the morning. We started at 7.
Yeah.
Like, oh, man. Like, all right, now what do I do? Like, what do I...
That's kind of funny, actually.
And I had to go buy a shirt, too, because I was shirtless.
Oh, you ran when... Oh, gotcha.
No, I had a lot of clothes on, but I kept taking them off and throwing them. So I have, the city of Philadelphia has my T-shirt, a hoodie, and like a fanny pack I wore.
Oh, do they like go around picking stuff up over the race?
Actually, when you first start. So when you first start, it's freezing. It was like 40 degrees at 7 in the morning. So people were in hoodies and stuff like that. And the cool thing is if you like leave your hoodie at the start line, they donate all of the clothes. So they're getting piles of clothes from
awesome.
3, 4, 5,000 people.
Yeah, that's
so
sick.
they got all these clothes. But like during the race, I threw this T-shirt like in some alleyway somewhere. I don't know. It was just,
it's gone forever.
Yeah, who knows?
Oh, yeah, that's
and I had a fanny pack.
Yeah,
I threw. That was a mess too. But yeah,
I mean, I find it wildly impressive, and my buddy Rick's wife Melissa has run, I think, the New York City Marathon 3 or 4 times
really?
now.
Yeah,
and it's like sick. Like, dude, I'd love that for people. Mm-hmm. I just don't. It's not like an itch I want to scratch.
Yeah, it's
like,
a lot, man.
It's
Casey
Neistat,
crazy.
Right?
I don't believe so.
Oh, he's like the internet guy. He's a YouTuber.
Oh, yes.
Casey,
Oh, hell yeah.
Casey ran the New York City Marathon. The next day, he ran 13 miles.
Well, yeah.
I'm like, bro, what the fuck?
I got friends running.
Why?
Oh, yeah. The stuff I can tell you about friends that's like 26 miles. They're running marathons weekly for fun. 30 miles, no problem. You run these ultras. You're running 26 a day. People run 100-mile races. You're doing
that's crazy
all day. There's 250-mile races through the woods or through the mountains. I'm going to be doing that kind of stuff soon.
Why?
It's true. Mental.
Is it just challenging?
I'm some crazy. I don't know. I have issues.
Yeah. Okay. I'm a therapist for that. So,
But it is therapy. That's the thing. It's just as much good for my mental as physical. Hell yeah.
I think it
Without a doubt. I need this shit.
I think I totally agree with that.
It helps me tremendously.
There's something to be said about it being like a Band-Aid on a gunshot wound, right? Like you're stopping the bleeding a little bit, but you can still benefit from some.
Of course. No, yeah, but it is like therapy, what it does for yourself and your self-confidence and your belief in yourself that you can do something challenging like this.
Yeah.
That's all you need. Trust me, you'll get more out of that than a therapist because I've been to therapy.
You do a lot.
Without a doubt, this helps more.
You do a lot.
And physically, what it does, like, especially your body, your brain chemistry and stuff like that.
I was going to say,
you
do a lot by clearing out when you're going challenge yourself.
Incredible. Even if it's just the exercise alone,
Yeah. I mean, when you clear out the physical, running 26.2 miles, your mind has to be cleared.
Oh, your brain
can't be
not even
can't be thinking about
your brain dead.
Yeah.
It's all out.
Yeah.
You feel like numb, zombie.
Do you listen to music?
But if I'm by myself running around, yeah. But if I'm with people,
what about the marathon? You listen to music?
I had a little bit here and there. I'm not a big, I like the energy from the crowd, and you get that. So I had some parts, and then sometimes I take it out.
Interesting.
I
find it fascinating. I really do. And I'm not saying it's not something I'll ever do because I don't have that itch to scratch. My brother and my brother-in-law, big power lifters, they're getting personal best and stuff.
Sweet.
I don't feel the need to test myself physically and stuff. Like I peaked in high school when it comes to physical.
Yeah, but no, I wouldn't, don't say it because you haven't, once you start getting into it and then really making it a part of your life, it's, maybe you could go into that mindset. I'm not going to become a marathon runner, but I'm going to start running. I'm not going to become this big time power lifter, but I'm going to start lifting. Once you get into that and then you start progressing and seeing that change, like, oh, maybe I can do a little more. Hey, maybe I can be competitive in some sort of way. You never know because you haven't done it yet, man, dude. I'm telling you.
Totally fair.
You haven't gotten the itch to scratch.
My whole reasoning for
I never thought I'd be doing this.
Going to the gym is just simply to not die at a young age.
Yeah.
Okay. I want long life with low problems physically, and you can't do nothing and have no problems, right?
Yeah,
you need to maintain some level.
Without a doubt, you do.
Yeah, even if you're out walking or whatever, you have to
do something. 45 minutes walking a day.
I'm curious.
Most people don't do that.
I'm curious. You have a lot of different things that you do: the woodworking, photography, the running, the fitness. Is it all to some degree different creative outlets for you? How do you?
Yeah. it all works. It's all intertwined somehow. You know, it's that self-expression. It's that, especially running. And that's why I like it so much, because it is by yourself. You know, yeah, you can run with people, but most training is by yourself. And that's hard, especially if you're like, all right, I got to run 15 miles today. You wake up, I'm waking up at 4 or 5 in the morning on the weekends.
And then going up.
There's runs I'm working up at 2:50 in the morning on a Saturday. Well, everyone else is sleeping in. I don't have to be doing that, you know, but it's just me out there, and I like the control of that. And it's like sort of up to me and that responsibility. And same thing with like woodworking. You have that sort of, I mean, the creative outlet aspect of it maybe, but it's just, but yeah, like I was getting at before, sorry. So the running community is a lot like the skateboarding community, you know, where it's everyone from all the walks of life gets together. And like, you got these many run groups in New York City that I've ran with. We started one right in Montclair, a smaller one. But it's like, you never know. It's people from all walks of life. You know, it could be any race, any ethnic background, religion, just to do something together, you know. And then it's like everyone runs different styles, different paces. There's no right or wrong, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not. So that, I guess maybe that aspect of the creating, like, it's like the skateboarding industry, not industry, but like culture to me.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's sort of that community. Yeah. The thing is with the community, it's very similar to that. So that's why maybe I got attracted to that, like the running.
When did you start running?
About 9 months to a year ago. Really consistently, like, you know, like because of another
before
race.
That you were just like fucking around. Like,
yeah, here and there, a couple miles here and there. But I started because of actually running for like a couple weeks before I snapped my ankle. Got healthy, started running a little bit, and then I got into a race called High Rocks. It's like a fitness race where it's conditioning, but also running, and like it's like strength conditioning sort of, but also running intertwined as well. It started in Europe, and now it's getting really big in the United States. It's like, talk about like the ultimate like all around fitness test. That's where it's at, High Rocks, and that's my next race. I have 2 of those.
When's that?
I have one in March in Houston, and then one in New York City in June.
And how far is that?
It's so what it is. It's like having a big track, like a high school track, or you know, around a football field.
Uh-huh.
So, but there's also 8 stations in the middle that you do. It could be like a sled push, a sled pull, a rowing machine.
I saw you. Did you do one of these?
Yeah.
I saw it on Instagram.
Exactly. Yeah. So there's 8 stations, 8
throw
runs.
ball over thing.
Yeah, wall balls.
Yeah.
8 stations, 8 runs. So it's all together. It's about 5 miles. But you're running because it's came up in Europe, so it's 0.6 miles, and then you do something 0.6 miles back and forth run. You know, and like the fastest guys in the world do it in like 55 minutes. And these guys are insanely like flying running and just huge, insane athletes, freaks. Yeah. So like it took, like from an hour to an hour and a half of consistent, just gassed. That's, you know, like you have to catch your breath and get your shit together on the runs.
On the runs.
Yeah. And your legs are dead.
3/4 of a
pushing
mile.
330 pounds on a sled back and forth from here down to like, I don't know if it's like 100 meters, 80 meters back and forth 4 times. I'm like, all right, I got to go run on your legs. You can't even walk. Let it run. Go run over a half mile at a pretty fast pace just to compete. Yeah, it's
and what do you get for finishing? Like a little medal?
No.
Like a little trophy? Like a little...
You got time.
You just get a high five?
You're like, all right, I placed.
And you pay to do this too, right?
Yeah.
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 Like how much?
Training for it. It's like $150 maybe.
$150.
That's it. Yeah.
It's like 2 bottles of nice bourbon.
Train. Oh, yeah. Well,
nice Italian dinner.
Yeah, you can look at it that way. It's true, but still, dude, it's awesome. I love it. You know, that's my shit.
Listen,
but yeah, that's why I got into running, sort of. Like, because you got to be a runner for this shit.
Yeah, man, I can imagine. Yeah.
But also got to be strong and also have to have good conditioning, and that's why, because I think that's the total package right there. This High Rocks.
I used to be a huge cynic, like maybe as early as a few years ago. Mm-hmm. I get so excited when people are excited about the things they're doing, like whether they're sharing their art on Instagram, online, whatever, or like just someone who's genuinely happy about something they're doing. And I see that with you, with the fitness stuff and everything that you do in your life. And like that to me, like makes me happy. Like I like that.
Hell
I appreciate that.
Dude, I'm the same way.
I think that's like such a great thing that I've sort of developed for myself as I've gotten older, because it's like seeing someone be like unabashedly happy with something.
Stoked for other people because they're stoked. I'm like, yes, because that's, they're living life. Yeah. And that's the way it should be. And then like, and there's so many critics and like people that are very like down on that because people are jealous of that type of lifestyle.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh, well, you know, they have these safe jobs and this and that. Like they're working jobs. Oh yeah. Like you wanted to be an accountant your whole life.
Yeah. Right.
You know, but like,
whoa, nobody,
but still, you know, like you have to be happy for those people and you have to constantly, you know, like get just little things. Oh, hell yeah. You know, like it could be a comment on the post. It could be something on the story. Just constantly gassing these people up because there's enough people putting them down.
I'll tell you,
You know, fuck that.
It might sound stupid, but like when even just getting like a like on something like makes you feel good.
Always.
You, like,
I always make sure I'm always commenting and liking on people's stuff.
You're putting your effort into like a hobby or whatever you're doing. It's something you're passionate
doesn't matter
about.
what it is.
I love that.
You know, especially like if someone's posting their stuff like that, I'm always making sure I'm commenting, liking it. Just because it takes 2 fucking seconds. Just you know, just show a little support because these people are putting themselves out there to the world. You know, where a lot of people are very reluctant to post, and you know, it has to do with self-esteem and you know being insecure. But you know, we gotta support people because this is
we live in the most exhausting time to be alive. It's so easy to be a cynic. It's so easy to be a dick, and it comes easy. Yeah, it's easy. It really is. You know? If for a long time, if I realize it's actually easier to be a dickhead.
Oh, without a doubt. There's no slack. Yeah. You know, anyone could have an opinion about anything. Because it's simple and easy, you know, and it's it's a cop out.
When I think about like all the time I've wasted, like being mad over the dumbest shit, like things that are like not even tertiary, like to my life at all. Like I'm worried about this, like political stuff. Or fucking
that's
any dumb thing.
Whole other world. Ball game. Oh,
you know what I'm saying? But like it's like spent so many years of my life worrying about shit that doesn't matter at all. Yeah, like
nonsense. Legit, man. It really is. It's so bad for the body and like your mind as well. Because that's just self-induced stress. Like I even harped this on my parents. Like you guys are like they're watching the news, and like the fear and the anger and all the negative stuff that's putting out on people, and they're consuming that. Like you are what you consume. It could be visual, it could be audio, it could be anything.
And food.
What you have the option to really mold your life around how you want to consume in anything. Like you know, you want to have a positive life. You consume positive shit. Your life's going to be a little bit more positive. You know, so like you're watching the news and that kind of stuff. Like, dude, it's you're in control. You can not watch this and have a totally better, you know, body chemistry.
I totally agree.
The stress and the cortisol and stuff like that. You're hurting yourself.
I totally agree.
And it's not good for you.
I watched a video recently. I forget the guy's name. Jake Free, something like that. Put out like a creative thing. Like, be careful what you consume as a creator.
Hell yeah.
And like, I think I get trapped in that sometimes. Like from a photography perspective, because you get so caught up in like what other people are doing, what other people are sharing, and like who they're working with and what their clients are.
Right.
It's easy to feel like you're getting left behind in something.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then changing your mindset of like how you're like viewing other things is so crucial
as a creator. Exactly.
Yeah.
You know, because you're watching other people like, oh, is that cool? Is that what's going on? Maybe I should change my style, and that's it. Like, no, but if you're as an artist, you don't want that. Like, that's what's the point. You know.
Yeah.
Like,
dude,
I
did
here
it
to follow. You're here to be your own person.
I did something today in studio that I never tried before, just from like a technique perspective, and I showed you the result. Like this blurry, like really cool. I'd never tried it before, and I was like,
"Really?
I think this will look."
That?
No,
That's
I was
sick.
like, I was like, "This is going to look really cool right now." I was like, "Just hit me, you know, a flash of inspiration," and it came out great, better than I expected.
Yeah,
and you know, I talked to my buddy Dean a lot about photography because, like, we were always talking about gear and what are you using? You're shooting film, you're shooting digital. It's so easy to get wrapped up into like the thing that you're using, and then what you're doing is so secondary to it. And I'm like, I gotta just pinch myself. Like that 3 years later, I'm still like earning a living, doing the thing that I love most.
Dude, you get to wake up.
Who get to say that? Like nobody.
You wake up, you're stoked.
Yeah,
man, it's in my hands. I can control my day.
Yeah, it's
how I want to live my day. And
it's
that's
nuts,
phenomenal, man. I'm even trying to get there.
Yeah, I mean, you're there
to an extent. I still have a full-time job, but that's
okay.
Yeah, but still, it's going to be full-time woodworking and content creating for health and wellness. And that's it. You know, I can't wait for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, you're right there. I mean, for sure. My whole thing, like, it is funny because there's always that pull to like a 9 to 5 because there's like so much security, so many like health benefits, like all these things that are like,
of course,
super important. Pension. It's nice.
I could have a whole conversation about that.
Yeah, I'm saying.
You know, it's not nice. No, it's not.
Why?
Why? Because I could die in 5 years and all that $175 a check. Where is that going to go? So I can be happy at 65, but be miserable until 65, so I can retire.
Who's your benefactor?
I don't know. My mom.
Yeah, right. No, it's going to someone.
But still, you know,
like I got life insurance. If I die, my sister gets $1 million.
Different, but these pension, that kind of stuff, because that's such an older, not conservative as like political,
matched, though, doesn't it?
That my pension, maybe I don't know, but still, it's a state pension's great, but still, I'm not. That's not why I'm going to be at a job that I don't want to do. But people get so complacent, like, oh, it's a good job,
100%. Did you ever watch the movie Up in the Air?
No,
never saw it.
No, I don't
George
watch,
Clooney.
I don't watch many movies.
Oh, you got to watch it.
It's a great cartoon.
Movie. No, it's a movie. It's a movie. George Clooney.
Oh, I don't know. Maybe did.
So they're George Clooney and
Up. Okay,
Anna
no.
Kendrick.
The kid with the balloon.
No, it's called Up in the Air. George Clooney and Anna Kendrick work for this company where they go into companies and they fire people, and that's all they do.
Okay, yeah, like consultants, pretty much, yeah.
So he's interviewing this guy for his exit interview or whatever, and firing him. And he goes, "How much was the first amount of money that someone paid you to give up on your dreams?" And it's like the line of the movie, in my opinion, because it's like at some point someone said to you, "Hey, God."
Yeah, no, yeah, I've heard that quote actually recently in a podcast.
It's from that movie.
Yeah. And I think they did quote that. So yeah,
it's so clutch because
that's it, man.
Everyone's
got a price.
For the whole first half of my life, all I did was chase more salary, more money, more benefits, more salary, more money, more benefits.
That's it.
And then you get into a loop where expectations don't meet reality. Like you're saying, like I've got this great job, I'm making good money, I've got a pension, I've got a great health insurance.
What's that doing for you?
Right, exactly. If you're not being fulfilled in the thing you do, you need to find
hell yeah. At least do something on the side. Start with that. Because I always had a full-time job, but always had something on the side because I needed that. There was an itch. Like I'm not living my life this whole 8 hours and going home watching TV. That's not it for me because that's not it. Like it doesn't matter about the money. It's just there's got to be more.
I totally
need fulfillment in some sort of way because that's when you go insane. Or like I could have a whole conversation just about. If you got nothing for yourself, you're going to look back one day and it's going to be bad because it's going to compound inside of you, and then bad things happen. It could be in a marriage or something like that. You'll be 50 years old and end up cheating on your wife or getting through a divorce or having a midlife crisis, becoming a drug addict, something, because you're just socking away that, like, having that regret and not like, oh, maybe I should have gotten to this. Maybe I should have this, Playing it too conservative is bad.
I agree.
In the long run,
it's easy to play it safe.
Of course,
there are a lot of people who play it safe and are happy.
And that's
it's not for everyone to take a risk.
Thing, I think,
well, because it pushes you in a box to be in a place that you got to do the thing, and you got to check the boxes, and you got to get the job.
Take risk. Ooh,
yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's there's months where I'm like, where's my rent money? Like,
yeah.
2 of the 4 weeks of the month, I'm like, well, fuck, here we go. Like, what am I going to do? Selling a kidney, you know what I mean? Then all of a sudden, it's like you work 13. Right, exactly.
It's the ebbs and flows. It happens to me with the woodworking. I'm like, I haven't had a job in a while. And then a week, it's just like, wait, I just got 10 jobs.
I look at it like, but to me, what it ultimately boils down to is like being my own boss, not having to report to anybody and doing whatever the fuck I want, whenever the fuck I want. Is priceless.
Right.
You can't put a price on it.
Hell no.
It's not a salary amount. It's
not for everybody, though.
It's not.
Like some people can't. It's too much freedom. And then that's where trouble can happen. So you got to have that balance, You have to have a work ethic. Yes, and also just the self-discipline, because you can go out every night if you want. You don't like, oh, well.
I could, but all my friends are married.
No, but you understand what I'm saying. But like in general, people like too much freedom. So if they don't have that structure, it can go south.
Yeah,
I
disagree with that. I think you're right. I think what it boils down to is that like finding the thing that works for you. You would think it'd be the easiest thing, right? Because like so many of us will like, oh, I want to be a teacher. So you go to school and then you're a teacher for 8 years and like, you're like, oh my God, I hate this.
Of course, hell yeah.
Or like you said an accountant before, you go be an accountant, you're like, oh my God, I'm making so much money, but this is fucking terrible.
What are we doing
for what? So often people don't ask themselves if they're doing the thing they want to do to make themselves happy. And I think like, if anything, like I get messages sometimes where people are like, it's so cool that you do this, it's so cool that you do that.
All the time. People come up to me and approach me, dude. It's wild. Like, do it. All the time.
But do it.
Exactly. I'm like, oh, so you're so inspiring, this and that, but I don't know what I want to do. Just try
a million things,
man. Try it out. Try a million things. Any interest in anything,
dude?
Give it a shot. Look up some stuff. We have the internet. We have just information. You don't even have to physically try it. Look at it. Like, oh, I might be interested in this.
I remember we were talking like maybe a year or so ago, and I was saying how like I hate video. Like I'm not really into it. It's like not my thing. Now I'm finding myself super into it. Color grading is a lot of fun. Like building narrative, building story.
It brings a whole other world of creation. Like, oh wait, now I got these ideas. Oh wait, maybe this shot. Maybe this would look cool.
And like it's the same thing with this podcast.
It's a whole other world.
These conversations are. I say it all the time. It's therapy. I steal from them. It's like the easiest, cheapest form of therapy on earth, because you get to like talk to people about life and like what works for them and what doesn't work for them, what they've learned. It's fantastic. But it's like I didn't start here.
Right.
I didn't like it. I came from 5 other things that I was thinking about doing. That was like, oh, maybe I'll do this. And then I started. Oh, this works.
Do this. Yeah, let me just give it a shot.
Yeah, it's
interviewing people. How hard can it be?
It's so frustrating. Like when people are just like afraid to take chances and won't take the risk. Like if you have a 9 to 5, it is the best time to try something.
Without a doubt, now's the time.
you look at someone like, oh, I love cooking, like, but like I can never be a food influencer.
Oh man,
why?
Anyone?
You don't need to buy an expensive camera. No, you could do it with your iPhone.
We all have high definition cameras in our pockets with access to everyone around the world.
Yep.
On free apps.
Yep.
You can do anything you want. You want to start a blog about fucking Ninja Turtles, you can do it. You want to start a podcast, you want to be a photographer, anything. It's all out there. All the information. Where did the
blog about Ninja Turtles come from?
It doesn't matter. Like it's whatever interests small.
Do you have a Ninja Turtle blog?
I don't know.
Are you sure?
No. That'd be cool. Maybe.
That'd be hilarious.
I love Ninja Turtles. Not like that. But still, it's just anything. Any sort of niche, there's a market for.
I totally agree.
You know, it's all free. It's free.
Dude, we
have the internet. It's and social media.
It's funny because like I think there's a lot of problems with social media, but one of them is that we feel like we can't do something if it's not getting a certain number of views or stuff. And it's like that mentality is so detrimental to the creation aspect of it.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh, well, if I'm not getting 10,000 views per YouTube video, I shouldn't make YouTube videos. Mm-hmm. But it's like the landscape of social media has warped our understanding of like what a number is.
Well, yeah.
Like if you got 1,000 likes on something that you did, mm-hmm. like could you fit 1,000 people in your house?
No,
of
doesn't
course
matter.
Not.
You know, like
I've gotten 100 likes on things before. I can't fit 100 people in my apartment.
That's true.
Like our mindset is, well, if it's not doing millions, it's not worth
because
doing.
We're following people who do millions, and they think that's the standard.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's like, no, it's not like if I can't play basketball like Michael Jordan, why even bother?
Yeah, that's
like what the hell?
It's that defeatist mentality that is. I truly think it's ingrained to us through social media because like it has provided a scapegoat to never try.
Yeah. Well, people do like so when it comes back down to it. You know, it's just insecure. People are just scared. They're scared of what people think about them. You know, all it is. You got to stop caring what other people think about you.
How do you stop caring?
Just putting yourself out there. You got to stop because especially on social media, you're gonna get way more hate, way more stuff like that.
Dude, I
see people looking at my stories, and I'll see a lot of shares. I'm like, I don't know, and they're all private shares. I'm like, you got people talking, and that.
What do you mean private shares?
Like people, you can't see who's sharing it. It's not like
it's always like
from share to share. Like someone's sending it to another person. Like, oh, hey, look what's around zone. Like,
like,
I'm watching you. Like, I know,
my favorite thing that I've started doing is. YouTube is a cesspool of comments.
Oh, what's that? No, I've never really been on YouTube.
Bro,
I'm sure.
I love responding back to these people.
Really? Yeah. You can't go too crazy.
I do, though. But it's such a fun treat to me.
Yeah. The negative stuff, like whatever. Fucking.
No, that's why I laugh. Like,
yeah.
Could you imagine like taking 30 seconds out of your day to comment on like one of my videos?
Yeah, you gotta feel bad for these people. You got to be really like, man, I feel bad for this guy. He's hurting.
Like, dude, you know how like good my life is? That like, why does this affect you? Shouldn't you see someone who's like
they're insecure? They have issues.
Yeah, I know.
So they got to portray it on somebody else. Like, man, I'm hating on this guy. Like, oh, look what he's doing. Well, what are you doing, dude?
Yeah,
at least I'm trying something.
Yeah, it's funny. It's like it's my birthday.
A lot of it's envy.
It's my birthday in a week. I always get like super melancholy this time of year, trying to think about like what do I accomplish in this year and like where am I in growth, like mentally, physically, work, creation, and like I thought last year was a bad year. I didn't think like I had a good year. I didn't grow a lot, didn't make a lot of money. And not that I need to make a lot of money to be successful, but I had a bad year financially.
Right.
And then like, this has been like one of the best years of my life.
Wow.
Like, on every conceivable metric.
Cool.
And it's like still not enough, but it's like the thing that, and this will be a good question for you is like, what I'm trying to figure out is how to feel a sense of complacency. Because like for someone like you who's like, oh, I want to go run a mile, and you finish it, you're like, now what? You probably have the same feeling of like complacency of like, how do you feel comfortable?
What's next, what's next? And that's like a decision and like a way to live. I feel just because of how I like to live my life and how I perceive life, that it's a never-ending thing. Like it's always just what's next? How can I grow? How can I progress? And physically, mentally, in my creation, it could be my business in all aspects because it keeps you hungry and it keeps you waking up in the morning with some sort of hunger and like, I think it has to do with gratitude, perspective, just not being complacent. You have to just constantly have goals and have stuff to look forward to. That's why I sign up for these races because at least I got something on the calendar. I'm like, all right, it holds you accountable. Like you got to put the work in because there is no shortcutting. You can't just show up to a marathon. Like you got to put that fucking, So with that kind of life, like you have to.
You ever watch How I Met Your Mother? Never watched it?
I don't watch much TV now.
All right.
Like, I watch Seinfeld when I fall asleep.
My favorite show of all time. One of the characters, Barney Stinson, was like...
Barney Simpson?
Barney Stinson. Oh. Was like, the whole thing with running marathon is like you go to the start line, you start running, and then when it's over, you stop. He's like, I could do that, and he just like runs the New York City Marathon in the show.
Right.
And then the joke is that like he gets on the subway at the end of the day and then like can't stand up because he's like his legs are so shot or whatever. But it's like, you know, obviously there's a lot of planning that goes into it.
Yeah, I know. But you understand what I'm getting at. You know,
dude, I think I'm gonna just get on the treadmill tomorrow and run 26.2, and then
no, you won't.
Yeah, no, I won't. No, especially because I gotta go
probably
work at 8 a.m.
Yeah, you gotta be up at 5.
Yeah. Oh,
I got a hosting event tomorrow.
Well, I'm gonna be there. That's why I said.
Oh,
yeah, right. I was like 8 a.m.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I'm gonna see you there tomorrow. Yeah.
Yeah, it's been a long day.
You gotta be there at 5 a.m.
It's been a long day, dude.
Are you running the race?
Yeah, oh yeah. It's not a race. It's just like a workout.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but people might take it real competitively, but it's fucking tough. And I got some shoulder shit going on. I'm hosting the whole thing, and it's gonna be a whole production. There's gonna be a bunch of people there and shit.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
I'm excited for
It's
it.
gonna be sick.
I think like
a lot of fun.
It's so out of my scope of like current content creation.
Oh yeah.
From a work perspective, like photo, video stuff. I've never done it. I'm like very, very excited to like do something new. Because like to me, at the end of the day, like like my thing is like I like telling stories. So like this is just another story to tell.
That's it, man.
Why people want to get up and run and
put themselves through pain and suffering. It's miserable.
And it's good because I don't have to.
You're gonna see 60 people fucking hurting, but we love it. That's what we do. It's
60 people,
probably. Oh yeah.
And how much?
Anywhere
that cost
from like
tomorrow?
40 to 20, huh?
What's that cost tomorrow?
What's that? What?
What's the cost?
Cost of what?
For them to do it tomorrow.
Free.
It's free.
Show up. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's a workout. It's not an official event.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, we didn't tell the high school. We probably get kicked out. We're going at the high school, so we're just 60 guys going to work out.
You didn't go to high school?
No, we're showing up tomorrow.
What could go wrong?
It's an unofficial event. No, we know people, like the coaches and stuff like that. So they can make sure. It's the winter, so there's no like track or anything. Hopefully, we're good.
I'm excited. What could go wrong?
We'll see.
Nice.
Nothing's going on.
Good shit.
PMA. Nothing's. We're good. It's gonna be great.
Do you get melancholy this time of year? End of the year, moving into
a little bit,
next
maybe.
year?
I don't think like that.
No,
it doesn't matter. It's just another number on a like thing. What is the next year? I'm more of an age person. I talk about this to people.
Well, my birthday is.
Is your age important to you? Or is the year important to you? Because people go by, all right, 23, what did I get accomplished? Or my year 35, what did I get accomplished?
Well, for
what
me,
do you look at?
My
year?
birthday,
are you year or
my birthday's in a week?
Okay, so it's very close.
It's the same. It's like my birthday in the year.
Mine's halfway, so I'm in June, so 6 months, so that's like halfway. So I'm like, all right, well, what do I really pay attention to?
I like
maybe my year, my age. I think that makes more.
It's both for me. I think so. Like statistically, I'm turning 38, which is like it's fucked up.
Why is it fucked up?
Because I'll tell you why. Because the life expectancy of a U.S. born male is 76 years old. So statistically,
modern medicine's getting older.
Sure, but like right now, today, we're alive now.
Yeah,
our life.
We're not even halfway there.
Our life. We are exactly 38 is halfway there. Exactly.
It's great.
That to me is like
fucking another half. Let's go.
Well, so like, but like, for me, it's like I think about how this has also been so much time.
Dude, yeah.
But it's also been a blink.
Nah, it's been mad long.
It is mad long, but it's been a blink.
Yeah.
Because like I can think about shit in second grade and be like, wow, that was 5 minutes ago.
A long time ago.
It was fucking 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah. I don't think of it that way.
I do. I think about time all the time. Because like my biggest thing is like you start realizing like the importance of life is like time with people, right? So like you and I are not related. The likelihood is that over the next 38 years of our friendship, we're going to spend somewhere between like 10 and 40 hours together, like just in the grand scheme of life.
Okay, yeah.
So if like you knew you were going to see me again for like 6 weeks, and this is one of our final 30 hours together, that's fucked up to think about, right?
I guess, yeah.
But
it's in our control.
No,
if you think of it that way, like, all right, we're going to see each other tomorrow. Like, hey, what do we go? I got to see you Monday, man. I may never see you again.
I do think about that.
Really?
I do think about it, yeah.
Well, with family, it is very important, especially like your parents. And, once they get into an older age and stuff like that, like, I forget who put that into perspective. Oh, Jesse Itzler had a great comment. He's like, all right, your parents, you've heard this?
Yeah.
Well, he just talks about like, all right, well, my parents live in Florida or this and that. Like they don't live close to him. He goes, no, and I see them maybe 4 times a year for a couple of weekends. He's like, all right, so I'm only seeing him, 5 days or let's say 14 days out of the year. And only for 5 more years. So you're only going to see your parents for a couple more months the rest of your life. He's like, when you think of it that way, you really prioritize. Like, wait, I really have to spend more time with these people, and who's really important in my life, and how much time I'm spending with people.
Totally.
Breaking it down like to that metric, it's true.
And that's what I do.
Yeah.
Because like,
I guess I don't.
Yeah. But
Maybe I should.
Maybe you should. Maybe you should. It works for me.
It
really incentivizes me to maximize my. You don't seem to have any trouble being.
I don't see anyone
incentivized time wise. You know what I'm saying? Like you do not struggle.
Every day is so calculated.
Yeah, you don't. You don't
I'm always looking at my watch. I'm like, it's especially during the week. From when I wake up to when I go to sleep, it's talk about every fucking hour.
Some people are not like that.
I love it.
I am similar. I need to have things going on,
but also
I'm going to lose my mind.
2 jobs and the fitness and like the training and shit like that. I need to because my time is limited. So I have to get everything in.
And then like sometimes it's like I hate the word entrepreneur, but like as a person who's like running like 5 different companies that I do, like I never stop.
No,
I never stop. It's like my phone is on all the time. Like if someone calls me at 10 p.m., it's not like I'm not working.
Mm-hmm. It's all work.
Might not be important.
Everything's all work.
Might not need to be addressed right then, but it's like
that's how I think about it. It's all work.
100%.
Working on yourself. If you working on something.
I have very specific goals, like for my life, like the things that I want to do, the stuff I want to create. They're laid out in front of me.
Right.
I know what they are. Mm-hmm. So in order to get them, I've got to build a map and a road to get there. And like I think people get very disenfranchised with the building of the road and then never travel down it. They look at like this is going to take so much time and effort to get there.
Yeah,
hands up, can't do it.
Yeah, exactly. That's a great point because people do get very. They look at it like, oh, I can never do that. It'll take so long.
Mm-hmm.
But people have no clue. Like if you really the production you could get out of a day and then a week and then how that compounds. And then that's what really, like you can get more done in 3 months than most people do in a year.
100%.
If you just really calculate your days and how you're really spending your time. Weekends, like it's all, there's no weekend to me. I'm up earlier on the weekends than I am during the week, mostly. I'm usually up at 5, and I'm up at 5:30 during the week. So it's all work. It's all relative to me, I just love being productive because I go to sleep satisfied.
I would like to figure out a way to be super productive from like 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. because they're like,
I need sleep.
I'm not like that. Like
you're up later, right?
Yeah.
Sleeping like
if I could do I mean, I used to be able to sleep in. I can't sleep like that anymore.
I haven't slept past 7 a.m. in fucking forever.
That's what I'm saying. It's 8 for me, but it's like I don't need. If I set an alarm, like let's say for argument's sake, I set an alarm at 8:05 a.m., I will wake up at 8. Like,
I'll be 7:45, and it's like way too close not to go back to sleep.
It's so like weird.
20 minutes. Like what am I?
It's so weird.
And then you'll go back.
I think that's age. Like you just. Your body knows.
Your body clock, of course.
So
your rhythm, circadian rhythm, you build that.
I would love to be able to figure out a way, like if I could do photo shoots weekly from like 11 p.m. to midnight, 2 a.m.
Why don't you? Yeah, you can figure something out that you can like maybe start.
People don't want to shoot then. You know what I'm saying? Like
do like an online interview, like all right, late nights with John,
Instagram live,
something. Yeah, 100%.
That's not
cocktail hour, not cocktail, like nightcap.
Drink every night.
Whiskey with John, like still, but like a nightcap. You get 10 o'clock, you interview somebody,
sometimes
5 minutes, you have a drink together, and then you have a drink together, and that's it. Seriously. I was thinking about doing that with coffee, like a Sunday night coffee, or Sunday morning coffee with somebody else. It could be all different walks of life, and you have like a 5-minute interview on Instagram.
I like that.
And it's a good way to get into other people's networks too. Like, like interview somebody who is a photographer and then interview somebody who's into real estate and just constantly, it's like a small podcast or just talk 5 questions about how was your day last week? What'd you do today, last week? Goals and understand like the life almost of a realtor or a photographer. And people get like the day-to-day of,
you do a lot. Do you find it hard to focus on all of them at the same time?
It can be. It's just a lot more physical.
Do you feel like okay.
And that's why I'm
not being tired outside of it, but like
physically, it's a lot of physically demanding stuff.
When you're like, okay, let's say you haven't ran for a few days, are you like itching to run? If you haven't been to your studio to do work on a wood project, are you itching to get there?
Yeah,
like, you feel like
it's like almost. It's not even just that. I mean, once you get into that, like you hold yourself to an accountable thing. Like I got to get back into the wood shop, like especially with me, like it's all commission stuff.
Yeah.
So, but even with running, like oh my gosh, I need to run again. It's been 4 days just to hold myself to like a certain standard of fitness and like to just that. Like I like running, yes, but also I like to be able to run a good amount. Like I don't want to lose that because I put so much time and effort into it, So it's sort of both, But yeah, with the woodworking and all that, yeah, of course, hell yeah. I can't let myself go a certain amount of days without doing certain something.
Yeah, because I think about that now because like this is like a weird time of year with like the holidays and it's weirdly super busy, but also can be super slow.
Yeah.
Like I just got booked for like 5 shoots next
Dude, I'm
week.
super busy. It's like gonna ruin Christmas.
Well, yeah.
I don't know. I'm thinking about when I'm gonna go Christmas shop, and I got so much stuff going on the next couple weeks. Yeah. I probably even thought about it.
I actually, never mind. We're gonna cut that. We'll talk about it later. So I was like talking to my mom, like I don't know who to get like stuff for. She's like, I don't know. I'm like, how am I supposed to do it? You don't know.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
it's once you get older. Like my mom asked, "What do you want for Christmas?" Nothing. I don't
literally don't need a thing.
What do you get me?
It's unbelievable.
I'm like, it's some new running shoes.
I said the same thing today. What did you do with the shoes, by the way, after the marathon? Like your foot got all fucked up.
I still got them. I gotta try them out again. That's just like with these type of shoes. It's sort of like I should have.
Are those like marathon specific shoes?
Pretty much race shoes. Yeah.
Huh. Interesting.
Running fast.
Yeah. The only thing I asked for Christmas was like a new pot to like cook with.
Oh,
it's literally all I need.
One pot.
Yeah, I need a pot.
What about like I don't know.
It's like I don't need camera stuff. I don't need fucking.
Yeah, because that's the thing. Like, or like I would do like gift certificate. Like the B&H or something like that, so you could buy it because they're not going to know what they fucking get you.
Yeah,
I used to let my parents.
Unique
like, listen, like, I want to get you something on camera. Like, just get me a gift certificate. To Unique.
Yeah, I don't need a thing. I really don't need a thing.
No,
it's a good place to be in. Like it's also funny because like drop $10 million into my lap tomorrow, and I'm not going to go buy a bunch of shit. Like. Maybe a motorcycle, but like, that's about it.
Just like some property, that's it.
Yeah.
A motorcycle, yeah.
I got my motorcycle license.
Oh, do you?
Yeah.
When did you get that?
September.
Really? Oh, that recent?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah. I didn't buy a bike yet because I was like, let's live with it for a bit.
Yeah. Okay. What kind of bike?
I'm leaning towards
sport bike or
sport bike.
Really?
Yeah. No. I'm sorry. More like a cafe racer.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm leaning towards.
Those are dope. Especially cruise around here, Jersey City, like in and out of the city.
Yeah, I need something high up because I'm a big guy. I would love to get like an Indian Scout, but like it's too small.
Yeah.
It's just like I physically don't. Wouldn't make sense. So yeah, I'm gonna wait till after the winter and pick something up.
Cool.
But yeah, it's funny because like I sold my car a year ago, and I was like, I've been just Ubering for like the last almost a year now.
Yeah.
And I got my motorcycle license because like, I've never spent the amount that I was spending on my finance payments for my car on Uber. And if I buy a bike for like 10 grand, it's like, I'll never Uber. But you only get 6-7 months out of it around here.
Right.
But yeah, that would be like my one splurge.
Sweet. That's
like,
cool.
I don't need shit. Like,
the car, it's just material possessions.
What do I need? Yeah. That being said, $10 million is a lot. Probably buy some nice shit.
I'd go some travel.
I would get like
experience
maybe
things.
an 800 square foot apartment instead of like a 500 square foot apartment.
Yeah, double.
Yeah. No, for sure. I'd spend the summer in Europe, and that's this kind of
travel
stuff that I would do.
Experience.
But that's the time thing, because like life is about time and experiences, and not
shit.
It's true.
Things.
For
people, it is. People need that. People like having things. It's sort of like I have this, like, obtain this possession that I work
consumerism.
For. But it's just like there's like a self-fulfillment thing for people. I've seen that with people.
Have you ever bought something that you really, 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 really wanted, and then you got the thing, and you're like, 5 minutes later, you're like, cool.
Never really bought anything that crazy in a while. I don't know, no need to.
Because I was talking to a buddy of mine the other day.
Yeah,
I've owned.
Nothing I buy is not like anything that's not going to do anything for me. Like a tool or something like that. It's expensive. Like if I'm not getting something out of it, nothing. I'm just like a luxury item.
So like I've owned my dream camera and I sold it. I've owned my dream watch and I sold it.
Oh really?
I've owned my dream car and I sold it. Like I've had all the things that I've wanted.
Yeah.
My dream car is not to have a Ferrari. It's not like that.
Jeep Grand Cherokee.
Yeah, no, it was my dream car. It's like all I ever wanted.
Okay.
So it's like I don't need a Ferrari. You know what I mean? It's like so for me, it's like I bought the Rolex, I bought the Leica M6, I bought the fucking car, and then I was like, cool, get rid of it. Just as quickly as something comes into your life, you can get rid of it and realize that it holds no power.
Yeah. But for me, it's like the journey to obtain it.
There's something to be said about that.
Exactly. But to have a goal and like try to get it, work towards something. Maybe that's a good thing to. But I don't know, having the possession. Like I knew people, like even I've had an ex-girlfriend who should just buy shit just to have. Like she needed this, not even wear it. Just like constantly, I'm like, just to have these things. Like just to. I see them on the internet, like, oh, I need this. And just
No
constantly
amount
buy
of-
stuff, not wearing it. Just like, what are you doing with this stuff? Why do you need this? It's bigger than, I don't know. There's a bigger thing going on there.
For sure.
I
I forget.
think it's like a status thing too, like money and having,
No amount of money ever bought a second of time, I think is the quote.
Yeah. Well,
And,
it's all these rich people, they're like, all right, what are you going to do? Like, money buys freedom. That's
Total
it. They're
freedom.
buying their time back.
Yes.
So you put 10 years into building $1 billion business, you have no time. And then they're a billionaire. I'm like, finally, now I have time. And that's that's the payout, I feel.
Yeah. I feel that too, though, and like a very lower dollar amount.
Yeah.
Because like I have ultimate time freedom.
You do, yeah, because you're doing it. You're living your dream, having that. You're setting your own schedule every day. If you want to get booked to something, like someone's not hitting you up every, like, all right, you got to shoot tomorrow. You choose, all right, let's shoot at 12. Let's shoot at, 2 p.m. So you're setting your schedule up. Your time is in your hand.
Yeah.
And I think that's it. That's living. That's what fucking life's about. And I can't wait for that. I'm excited. Because I'm at my job, I work 8 hours and I feel like I'm wasting my time.
Do you?
Productive as a human, like what I could be doing in that for my woodworking and my other content, I'm not doing shit. If I have those 8 hours, the woodworking content, I've been slacking on because I go to my shop and I have like 3 hours a day. I can't sit there, set up cameras and like, all right, what am I going to shoot? No, I have work to do. So I'm not getting anything shot, and I triple my income without a doubt with the woodworking. Hell yeah.
By not working the job?
Yes.
You would triple your income.
Correct. Yeah, dude, it makes the money, like it's the content I'd be able to do. That's why it's happening. It's gonna.
Oh, I was going to say.
Yeah, by springtime, hopefully.
Triple. I mean, it's
a lot. Yeah, at least double. Just saying. Yeah. I would make a lot more money.
Would you end up working
be happier
more?
And about the same, maybe less, because I wouldn't need to. I mean, I would. Who knows? But I would also shoot stuff because I would get into the health and wellness and actually get paid that way too.
Mm-hmm.
Working with brands. That's what I'm starting to do now, and that pays as well. So I'd be able to do both. I have time to shoot at the gym and like content, and really sit there and think about creating content. Stuff I'm putting out now is usually short videos, nothing really too much substance. Because I don't have time to think about it. I work 2 jobs. 14 hours a day. I'm working.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Body shot. I'm asleep by 9:30 every day. Up at 5:30.
It's a lot.
But gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
The American dream.
Yeah. I think I'm most curious about leaving your job, obviously willingly, and not like in my case where I was let go of my job.
Right.
Is I think almost in some ways a lot scarier than
it is. Well,
than having it taken from you.
Yeah, well, taken from you, it's like you have no choice.
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be cool maybe to do that.
Yeah.
No, yeah, if I can get fired or something,
it wasn't cool, trust me.
No. I'd be like, yes, because now you got no choice. Like with me, it's like, oh, maybe I'll quit next week. Oh, another month from now. I'm not making,
yeah.
You got to be like, sometimes you have to take that leap, or just taking it, once the rug's taken out from under you, now you got no choice. Like, all right, and now it's go time. So now you got to react. It's not up to you, And I feel like sometimes you need that. You need that,
it's a great motivator.
To pull the fucking rug out. Like, oh shit, I got to do this now, instead of like, oh, well, I have the choice to do this. And sometimes you can procrastinate and.
You get pushed out of the airplane. Yeah. You got to figure out.
You hear a lot of these great people who are doing great things. They've all had that instance. Like, I fired from this, or once you get into a I have nothing to lose situation, or it's all or nothing, then that's where the greatness comes.
I think that's how I got
survival mode of a human.
Oh yeah, I was in survival mode for definitely 2 years.
Yeah,
just barely. It's 3 years later. 3.5 years later. The first 2, I was treading water,
right?
Barely head above water, figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is the first year where I've managed to put it all together.
Wow.
And yeah, it's hard to feel satisfied when there's so much more to do. And I feel like I'm still just scratching the surface on so much.
Yeah, the feeling of satisfaction with me, I go day by day. Obviously, you have goals like run a marathon, stuff the time and stuff like that, what it takes. People the accolades. Oh man, I guess the time I ran was really good for a first marathon, and that's all I heard. Oh man, you killing this. I'm like, all right, well, I could run better. I could do but still, that's maybe not ego. That's just holding myself to a high standard of ability. But what you do every day, you have the choice to be productive and to. If you go to bed, I earn the sleep. That's how I sort of live. Like I said, I going to work for 8 hours and coming home, taking a shower, eating dinner, hanging out, watching fucking TV. That's not it for me at all. Like I feel like I took the day off at all. Like I didn't work at all. I might as well 8 hours like at a normal job. So if I get my training in, get my 8 hours at my job, and then work at the shop, dead tired, but got a lot done. I'm like, yeah, that's it. And you just compound that. Like it's day by day satisfaction for me. Of like,
how
I can't think too far in ahead because you'll be like, oh, I'm getting nowhere.
I was saying,
you got to get somewhere every day.
How do you avoid burnout in that scenario? Because it's like,
been there.
Judgment
it does. It's tough, man, because the physical aspects with me. I needed to step away from the shop for a little while because I was really burning myself out. And like,
I stepped away from this podcast for a while. It's hard to do it all.
Yeah, of course.
You can't be running a business, doing the work, trying to run 2 other businesses, and do an hour podcast.
Juggle, it's
a lot. I used to have like 5 or 6 hours of episodes of podcasts in the kitty, like just ready to go, and then all I would do is spend 1 to 2 hours a week doing a new podcast, editing the week before, and then I just had so much backlog. But now it's like I barely get to do 2 of these a month.
Oh wow!
Because I just don't have the time.
Right.
My New Year's resolution is to do 52 episodes next year.
Good.
I mean, I've done 130 in 2 years. That's a lot.
That's so. I heard recently over 20 podcasts. You're in the top like 10% of all podcasts.
I'm in the top 0.01%.
Yeah. Chris Williamson actually put it out. Or he's like, listen, he's like, most people don't get past number 2. Like it's son in 20. Like holy shit, like you're fucking up there.
Yeah.
I'm
super proud of it. I would like to spend more time doing it.
Yeah.
If it was and you can relate to this. If I was earning money doing this, like real money,
that's where it can happen.
No, for sure, totally. I mean, dude, I just hit 45,000 career total downloads. That's
really? Holy shit!
That's a ton.
That's a shit ton.
That's a ton.
Fuck yeah!
When you divide it by 130 episodes, it's not that money.
But still, it doesn't matter.
It's just the total, right? So I look at it. It's like cool. If I was making money, like good money, like actual
something,
making $5 an episode that I do is like, it's not money. It's a hobby, right? So like when you look at like how am I spend my hours over the course of a week, I'm going to spend 5 hours
really being productive. It's just
it's like when I don't have a salary. I don't have anything other than what I put out. So like if you look at like I'm going to spend 10 hours a week on a podcast and it's netting negative dollars, it's like, well, can't really
like why is it you can't justify it. But also, these guys who have the great podcast, these guys put out like 200 to 300 a year, 4 years, and nobody was watching. But just because they didn't stop.
Totally.
And then that's where finally.
I've only in the last 6 months really slowed because I have so much going on business wise. I have so much going on photography wise. Like I'm too spread out, and I'm only one person.
Right.
If I had an assistant who could like set up the interviews,
like help.
So I'm only one guy. I only have so many hours.
Editing people, even just like for this, you can sub somebody out for editing.
I did do that for a while. I hired an editor, and then I was like, well, part of the enjoyment of the podcast is editing.
Oh, really?
Like reliving the conversation. It is a lot. It is.
On the computer that long.
Yeah, I'm spend hours a day on my computer editing photos, editing videos, editing podcasts, editing.
Your whole life editing.
My fucking eyes. It's a miracle I'm not blind. No, dude, it's funny because like sometimes I was talking to a buddy of mine. Sometimes, like, I'm spending so much time on an edit, it's like I'm losing what I'm trying to get out. And then, like, if
you ever have to just step away because your creative will get blurred. Like, am I just doing this a preset on everything just to get it done, or you step away like, all right, well, I didn't see this as in a certain way.
It's really
I've
funny.
been there when I was shooting photos, dude. I was doing my best fucking editing at fucking 3 a.m. drunk. I'd be on like 100%. Drugs, like sitting there and fucking 100% on the computer. Like this is years and years ago when I was partying like crazy. I'd be up like checking shit out and like looking at these photos and editing them way different than I thought because of just how your brain works and stuff like that. But yeah, like you got to step away sometimes.
When I first started,
that refresh.
When I first started, I built presets for myself because I was like, the quickest way to do this is to build my look for a color edit and a black and white edit. And just put it on it, and this is my work. Yeah. And then you get to the point where it's like, I'm growing out of this style. I'm growing out of this look. I want my photos to say different things. So then, like, when I do that, and I look at it, and I digest the work, it doesn't feel like me anymore.
Okay.
So that's when I know I need to start spending different times. Because I'm starting to get the feeling that every shoot that I do cannot be carte blanched with a certain look.
Right.
I can have a style, but every shoot has to have a different look and
It's got to
feel.
have a flavor. It's got to have a character.
Its own
what
flavor.
its own. Yeah, that's it. It's like storytelling throughout the photos. You know, like, all right, well, what did this say? What did this happen here?
100%.
You know, and that's what the best photographers ever.
Yeah.
Those guys had a style. They had like their.
Honestly, dude, it's part of
you
the
look at it like, oh my god, this looks like a whole. You know, you look at two people here, and you want to look like, all right, these two people about to kiss on the subway. Where were they before? Where are they going after? Did they just meet that night? Like, it makes you have that whole story.
Now,
like a photo. If that photo can do that to somebody, then that's a fucking great photo.
This is one of Stefan Vanasco's photos. Probably the favorite photo I have on my wall. I'm assuming, and I could be wrong, that this is film. That's my guess.
Yeah, without a doubt, because he shoots mostly film.
So, like, for me, it's another reason why I love shooting film. It's not the most economic for brand work, for professional work that I'm doing, for client work. It's hard because to get them to pay more, difficult. And then
it's a one on your end too. You got to process all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know.
So it's like,
you only know if you have the shots. You know, it's not a guarantee that the things are going to come out great.
The best clients are like, here, we want you to creative direct it, come up with what you want.
Dude, it's the best.
That's the best.
Especially with woodworking too. With woodworking, I've had clients that were
1 out of 10
of like thinking it's almost like, hey, do you want to build a table? Because every little detail and stuff like that, like, you hired me, you know. When I had other clients, I'm showing them photos of like, this is what the color of the wood is. Like, all right, build me something. There's fucking $7,000. Like, yes, because it's gonna be fucking sick. But like, it's gonna be what I do.
I like that too, because I like
you hire somebody in a creative outlet. You're hiring them for their creative
and
process.
Like
what else? Yeah, go to
trust
IKEA.
Me to do the thing.
Yeah.
And I'll
go to Wayfair. If you want a nice table, what do you choose?
I think that's a nice thing to get to that point, and I'm getting there. But it's one of the reasons why I like shooting film, because then I get to make the creative decision ahead of time. When you're looking at a digital file, it could hit me as this could be a great black and white image, this could be a great color image, and that
of course.
It's also nice to like go revisit old work and change stuff. Like I looked at some old stuff, and I was like, oh, I edited this photo in black and white, and it's so much better in color. I like
both.
That idea.
I love both. When it both works, like, man, look at these great shots,
dude. Honestly,
black and white and color, like, oh, they both it could be such a same photo but different. Like, oh man, this, you know.
My jam is Polaroids, man. I just want to shoot Polaroids, like that. I'd be happy.
I've never gotten to Polaroid.
It's my creative outlet for sure. Put me in a room with a Polaroid camera, and I'm happy.
Sweet.
But yeah, man, it's been my pleasure as always.
Of course, man. Thank you so much for having me back on.
Talking for hours as always.
Bullshit, you know.
That's
it. I love it's life. I can talk about life and perspective, and just, you know, because it's such an ongoing thing where we can sit here for 6 months from now and have a totally different conversation. Because we're going to live different lives, and different experiences will mold our perception and what we go through and stuff like that. And it's so cool and fun to think like, all right, I used to think this way, and like where your life goes. I love that. You know
what? I think that's a very refreshing take, because I think there's a lot of people who get really crucified for changing their opinions on things. You're not allowed to change your mind.
Yeah,
you're not
stick to your guns no matter what.
I think that's
it's very mature that people don't do that.
Yeah.
Like hard-headed people, like, yo, it's okay.
Yeah.
You know, it takes a bitter man to be like, oh, I was wrong.
Yeah.
Or I see things differently now. You know, it's okay.
Yeah, I like that, man. I'm appreciative of your time as always and your friendship.
Oh yeah, of course.
Thanks so much for coming on.
I appreciate it.